Hey there, and welcome to the Women Aging Powerfully podcast. I'm your host, Leah, certified menopause specialist and nutrition coach. Each week, I chat with top experts on nutrition, fitness, hormones, sleep, fat loss, and other crucial menopausal topics your doctor might be skipping over. We simplify complex science into actionable steps for your daily life, empowering you to tackle menopausal symptoms, weight challenges, and boost your overall health. We are not about aging gracefully. We're about aging powerfully. So grab your headphones, turn up the volume, and dive into this episode. Hey there, my friends. Today, I'm joined by Nicki Thompson, an expert with over 20 years in the fitness space who specializes in combining fasting with powerful mindset shifts. As the founder of Fasting with Nicki, she's helped countless women break free from emotional eating and self-sabotage cycles by focusing on identity-based change rather than temporary fixes. Nicki is actually also the creator of the 2-week Mindset Reset Guide, a step-by-step resource designed to reprogram self-sabotaging patterns before starting any fast or diet. She also runs the Fasting Effect group sessions where she empowers women to reach their health goals without burning out or giving up foods they love. Hello, sign me up. Her approach goes beyond generic meal plans, teaching women to understand and reframe the emotional triggers behind cravings. She's going to be sharing practical strategies for overcoming cravings, transforming negative self-talk, and aligning your actions with your values. If you've ever found yourself ghosting your goals or stuck in an all or nothing mindset with your health journey, you're not going to want to miss Nicki's unique approach to lasting transformation. Stay tuned for breakthrough insights on fasting, mindset mastery, and becoming your most confident, healthy self. Hello, everyone. I'm Leah, your host of the Women Aging Powerfully podcast, and I have a beautiful and talented and amazing guest for you today. Nicki, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I guess I'll just share a little bit about myself.
Yeah. How did you get into, well, I think a lot of people, let's just back up for a second. People probably read the title and are like, ghost our goals? What does that mean? And they're like reading on the mindset shifts. Oh yeah, I definitely need that. Breaking habits, self-sabotage. They're probably raising their hand like, yep, that's me. So what got you into this work? And, what's your journey been?
Yes, okay. So what got me into self-sabotage mindset shifts specifically is because I'm the queen of self-sabotage. So I had to figure out ways to stop the madness and really commit to the goals that I set for myself. And this is as a health coach. So with me being so identified with health and fitness and wellness and still finding it difficult sometimes to stick to certain goals and finding myself self-sabotaging. I identify as an emotional eater in recovery. So I thought to myself, I could only imagine what my clients who maybe are not identified as, being into health and fitness, what they're experiencing when it comes to sticking to their healthy habits. I've been in the health, fitness, wellness industry for 20 plus years. It feels weird to say that, like 2 decades. And I've done everything from just front desk at a gym to group class coaching to personal training coaching to health coaching, which is more about helping people create the habits to stick to their goals long term. And now most recently shifting to fasting. And that's because I saw such amazing results when it came to stopping the self-sabotage and stopping the emotional eating with fasting, as well as the health promoting benefits of fasting, like more mental clarity, better sleep, better skin, weight loss, just all those things. But where it really impacted me was with managing cravings, emotional eating, and self-sabotage. So that's how I got here.
That's amazing. I mean, I think if you've been there and you've gone through it, you can help clients in a new way that it's coming from within, from experience, from I've walked this road before. I know kind of what you're going through. Maybe not exactly, but I've been there. So
Exactly.
that's the kind of person people look for when they want to work with someone. What I'm really curious about learning from you is what does it mean? Let's dive specifically into ghosting our goals. Like, what does that mean? Can you explain that more?
Yes. So that's just my cute way of explaining the biggest self-sabotage issue that I see, especially with my clients, is all or nothing thinking. So let me put it like this. We all have an ego. The ego is not evil. It's there to help protect us. It's a function of our brains, and it's there constantly scanning, labeling things as good, as bad, safe, dangerous. It identifies with what you feed it the most. So if you are, oh, I'm a night owl. I don't like working out. I find it hard to stick to my routines. These are all cues that you're feeding your ego of, okay, this is our identity, and it will keep you in this box, also known as the comfort zone. The problem with that is that the ego is generally wrong about what's dangerous and what's good and what's bad. It just sees everything outside the comfort zone is bad, no go, because it especially hates uncertainty. So when we set new goals for ourselves, like, healthy routines, healthy habits, fasting, maybe getting more movement in our day, whatever that may be, we start out with some motivation and that keeps us going. But once that wanes, the ego is going to come in and like be trying to pull us back into our comfort zone. And it does that in sneaky ways. And one of those ways is the common self-sabotage, all or nothing. So it's where maybe I had a little slip up, or I skipped workouts a couple of times, or, oh, I didn't do my fasting this week. And we're just like, forget it. What's the point? I knew this was hard for me, almost like reinforcing, and boom, next thing you know, we're back within our comfort zone. And that's what I mean by ghosting our goals, just saying bye-bye because of minor slip ups type of thing.
Oh God, the ego. The ego wants to keep us safe, right? It doesn't like change. It doesn't like discomfort. It doesn't like new and challenging ways of being or living. And I think we all struggle with that to some extent, some of us more than others. And that's kind of a mindset or a mind shift journey that we all get to go through because you're the first one to say this, I'm sure, Nikki, is that if someone is, embracing a new health program, whether it's nutrition, fitness, or perhaps both, they're not going to succeed if they don't get the mindset down, right? They might succeed temporarily, but like you just outlined, they're going to fall back into those patterns that are not serving them. So, how do we escape this once and for all? What kind of tips do you give people for, sticking to our long-term goals? How do we make that shift? How do we say to the ego, like, take a back seat?
Yeah, I love that. Take a back seat. I think the biggest shift to make to have lasting changes and to kind of override the ego is, so as I explained it, it's the ego pulling you back into your comfort zone. The ego doesn't prioritize what's in your best interest. It prioritizes what is comfortable and easy and automatic and what it knows. So the key to real change is inside out. Instead of chasing the external goal, whatever that may be, I'll just use weight loss because the majority of my clients that come to me, us women, we all want to lose weight. I try to always sell the other aspects of, oh, look at all these beautiful benefits of fasting and, eating healthy, but they mostly come to me for weight loss. So I will use that as an example. So chasing the outer goal of weight loss, um, just by changing your actions won't work. You have to expand your comfort zone to something new. So you now have a new normal, and now doing these healthy habits becomes your new normal. And it starts with being aware of what your inner critic, your inner talking is saying. What identities are you feeding your ego? Like I just said before, like, oh, I hate working out. if you're saying that, the chances of working out ever becoming something that doesn't feel like an uphill battle are slim to none, and you will be pulled back into that comfort zone. So I think the first change is to determine what change you want to make. It's very easy to just be like, oh, I want to be healthier, I want to be way less. I say shift from that external goal to who do you want to be? Because the real goal is not losing 10 pounds. The real goal is becoming a person who can lose 10 pounds. So now we're no longer looking at this goal that's somewhere in the future. We're looking at what can we do today. So as somebody who wants to lose 10 pounds, for example, that would be a healthy person who prioritizes movement, healthy nutrition, somebody who is committed, somebody who is disciplined, and you start to, and I say write it down, write it all down. What does the person you want to be, imagine yourself as the person who's already achieved the goal. What is she like? Because she's not the person who you are today, or else you would already be there. So once you start writing out, like, okay, she probably enjoys going for walks and eating healthy and prioritizing her well-being, prioritizing her sleep. Now, when it comes to taking action, you're no longer just like, oh, it's a means to an end. I got to do this run because I want to lose this 10 pounds. It's like, no, what would Nicki, who's already achieved this goal, do right now? Okay, you know what? She would go for this walk and not put it off. And this is what living from the end is. It no longer feels like resistance, like telling my brain saying one thing, we hate this, while trying to do the action. It's in opposition. So once you kind of shift from, it's no longer about what you want, what you like, it's just what would that version of me do? And then you take that action. And then, even more importantly, you congratulate yourself for taking that action. And this like creates little proofs to your ego that, hey, we're changing. I'm no longer just feeding you with, I hate this. I am acknowledging the negative self-talk that is not serving me. I'm replacing it with, how would future Nicki act right now? How would that me that's already achieved it do that without judgment? And then taking that action. That's how I see changing from the inside out and slowly expanding your comfort zone. And you do it with small actions. So it feels manageable. It could just be, instead of like, I'm going to start a HIIT boot camp and cut carbs and cut fat and slash taste and cut fun and just try to create this outer world through action, and it's too extreme and too overwhelming and doesn't fit into your comfort zone, take small actions based on who you want to be, and then watch the comfort zone slowly expand, and things don't feel so there's not so much resistance later on.
Okay, how do I be the Leah that has arms like Nicki? Because that's who I want to be.
All right.
I've just been admiring your arms this whole time. I mean, you walk, you walk the walk, you walk the talk. What is that phrase? You know what I'm trying to say. What you say, you do. It's very clear, and it's coming out from everything that you're speaking, from the heart, from inside. And it's really inspiring to hear that, because a lot of women, as you've kind of just alluded to, is they struggle with, well, I think someone said there's 60 to 80,000 thoughts that go through your head each day, and most of those are negative and on repeat. So what you were saying, Nicki, imagine if a woman that's struggling with changing her health goals, changing her habits, imagine if she was able to shift even some of those thoughts, and then some more, and then some more. Everything you said, that is achievable and attainable and realistic. I love it. I love how you said it too.
Thank you. I think it was actually your last guess. I don't know if it was the last one, Carrie.
Pepperdino, she's
Yeah,
amazing.
she's the one who said about the 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And I listened to that episode and I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of thoughts to manage and to kind of watch out for, because every thought is having an impact on your actions, your behavior, your mood, your energy level. But it's so worth it. It's the work that is worth it. And it's a huge shift when you're simply challenging the thoughts without judgment. Just like, is this true? Do I believe that? Will this help me reach my goal? What would future me do? I don't think this aligns with what future. When you just take the judgment out and just really look at it from who is the person I'm trying to build and become, it just, the actions feel so much more effortless. And that's the difference between willpower and really changing from the inside out.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, if you are, if let's say you're, I am the person that goes to the gym because I am the person that gets to be stronger. I am the person building strength. What Nikki was saying, these thoughts and statements that build us up to be the person that we if have envisioned in the future. Spoiler alert, if you start working on simple, healthy foundations like better quality sleep, um, you know, eating breakfast with protein in it or something like that, that will allow you these shifts, these habit changes will be easier, right?
Exactly. That's
It's not
exactly.
so much like pushing a boulder uphill anymore. It's a little bit easier because your body is also feeling, oh, okay, with 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, look, I can be that person that I am that person that goes to the gym.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
So I guess my question is, do you start, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Like, do you find that women can, change these thought patterns, the way they view themselves, keeping that vision of who they want to become? Is that the first step? Or is sometimes just hydrating, for example, or sleeping better, or kind of implementing these basic health foundations first? What comes first?
In my opinion, the mindset comes first. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, if you haven't formally written out affirmations or anything like that, that you can't just start. Like, even if you go for a walk or go to the gym and you're kind of not feeling it, it's still good to go to the gym. You know what I mean? Even if you haven't really established that mindset. But I believe that the habits will solidify and be reinforced if you start with the mindset. Personally, I use affirmations, and they work. And I've seen, to this day, I still see it, habits just happening effortlessly without me thinking about it. And I know it came from me, saying these affirmations. So I think if you feel overwhelmed with having a lot of changes in your life with healthy habits and routines, it could be really good to start with the mindset first, before jumping into all these new behaviors and actions that may not feel aligned or right at the moment, because your mind is still identified with, a way of living that is not where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. What's an example of one of your favorite affirmations?
Oh, Leah, I'm so happy you asked, because I really have some favorites. Um, so one is, I lead by example in health, fitness, and mindset, and the people love me for it. And I say that because I'm also a coach and I have to be in front of people and I want people to feel good. I want people to feel connected to me. It's all love here. And I want to make sure I'm always doing the actions to be credible and an authority in this space, because believe me, there are days where I do not feel like doing certain things either. And when that comes up, what's great is I say like 4 or 5 affirmations every morning before I go to bed, and every night before I fall asleep. But then during my day, my everyday life, if I'm in a scenario where one of those affirmations fits for right, like in that moment, I'll say it. And I've seen phenomenal results. It makes, like, I will instantly go from, oh, I'm not really feeling it today, to, oh yeah, I lead by example in health. And it's like you embody the you that is that person in the moment. And another one, if you struggle with negative self-talk or self-talk that doesn't support your habits or long-term goals, one of my favorites is I choose positive and empowering thoughts and let go of what no longer serves me. That one is magical because now when a negative thought starts to creep in, I don't even have to, um, you know, consciously say the affirmation. It's like it just comes in and blocks. I'm like, damn, it's working. Like it just neutralizes it, does what it's supposed to do. And it's like without the forcing myself to say it. And, it might take time, but it definitely will work. You are training your mind to see yourself as this person, and eventually what it takes to be that person based on the affirmation just starts to feel easy. It's not you forcing it. And so those are two of my favorites. I choose positive and empowering thoughts and let go of what doesn't serve me. And I lead by example in health, fitness, and mindset, and the people love me for it.
I love that. And, this time in women's lives often does feel overwhelming and tumultuous and kind of like the ground is shifting underneath us from what we knew to what all of a sudden is the new normal, which we may not be a big fan of. You mentioned weight gain. That's one of the things, but there's so many more. And I think that um, the more people I interview, the more experts that I come in contact, the more I hear this resounding agreement that how we talk to ourselves, having that mindset shift, having anchors like affirmations is so powerful. And that, how you explain, just it can shift the energy almost immediately, especially the more you practice it. And so for all the ladies listening, like who doesn't want that? I mean, we are
Yeah,
struggling with so much. Like this is something it's free. Everyone can do it. It only takes what, a few minutes, Nikki? If
exactly.
that, right? So I love that you put that little golden nugget out there for women. Don't let, I just want to put a pin in that. Don't let this pass you by. This was a very powerful little statement from Nikki. And, she's not the only one. It's a common thing, right? With health coaches, because we know it works. We know that it
Exactly.
helps. Yeah, it's very powerful. I do want to shift really quick because a lot of women want to know about fasting. And I know that you have incorporated fasting into your practice. Um, let's talk about that. How does mindset fit in with fasting? And should everyone fast? And are there things that we should or should not do?
Okay, great. This is
I
I
know that
love
was
this.
loaded. Sorry. We can break it down.
The three-part question. So I love fasting. I have had many benefits, mental and physical, from fasting. However, I personally see it as a tool and not like some be all end all, like this is that one life hack that will change your life. I don't think fasting is for everyone, and not everyone needs to fast. However, it is what's worked for me. And so I'm now a coach that helps women, guides them in their own fasting journey for those who want to try it out. It definitely doesn't mean everyone needs to be fasting. What I love about fasting is I feel that the mindset improves your fasting and fasting improves your mindset. I feel like it goes hand in hand. And that is because um, when you're fasting and you're not like succumbing to every craving and eating all the time and experiencing insulin spikes and energy crashes and, just emotional eating, it's like it creates space for you to really finally sit with these feelings and emotions that come up, that maybe in the past we would just be like slap a snack solution on the whole thing and try to maybe repress certain feelings we don't want to experience, or we're just not dealing with the emotions. So when I'm in fasting mode and the desire of a craving comes up, but hey, I'm fasting right now, so I have to do something with this feeling, and I'm not just going to repress it or fight against it. We've all heard that expression, what you resist persists, and it is very true. Instead, I'm going to now acknowledge it, something I don't really do during my eating window, because I'm just going to eat when the desire comes up. And so now I'm asking myself, oh, okay, what is this? The first thing I do is pause and breathe and go inward for a moment. And what I love and what I give to my clients as life work, homework, is find out once and for all, what is a craving physically? What does a craving feel like? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel rumbling in your stomach? Are your palms getting sweaty? Like, just do a full body scan to see, like get cozy with this. Well, what is it? Be curious about it. No judgment. And so I'll go in. All right. So now I see. For me personally, it's kind of like a wave that comes over me, and I feel like a bit of a pit in my stomach, and I'll feel a restlessness in my mind. And I feel like that restlessness is what, oh, just go get a snack. Like, now I'm seeing that that's what happens. I'll ask myself if I'm truly hungry, because it could be that you really are hungry. And these are the things we need to find out, like know thyself, learn yourself. Most of the time for me, it's not true hunger. It's usually just habit, out of habit, that I want to eat. And from there, I'm going to use the affirmations maybe, but just, this is the perfect time. Okay, we felt a craving. This is what it feels like. I'm definitely not really hungry. It feels like it's just a habit. And right now, what would Nicki, who's already achieved these goals, do? Well, she definitely wouldn't just go out of impulse and grab a snack simply because this feeling came up. All right, we're good, we're cool. And you kind of like just feel like it was actually not that bad, and it moves on, because that's the thing with hunger. It's not like this thing that's just going up and up and hungrier and hungry and hungry until you die. That's not how it works. It's kind of, it comes and then it goes away. So let's create space for it to go away. Let's figure out what we're really feeling and addressing it in the moment. And that's what fasting does. It just creates that space to make it easier to commit to the practice of self-awareness and mindfulness in a deeper way, without the distractions of food and, like I said, energy crashes and spikes because we're just eating snacks throughout the day. And that's what I find. And then with that mindset, so now you just strengthened your mindset because of the fasting, but now because you've done that, the fasting becomes easier. And that's why it's just like a loop, a positive feedback loop that I really love.
Yeah, that sounds great. And it sounds so great that some women may want to try or attempt or, dig into fasting. So what would be the advice you give to someone that, we're midlife or beyond and maybe never fasted before? What's a great way to start?
So anyone who comes to me and they've never fasted before, and especially, like, I'm 45, most of the women, most of my clients are in that range, let's say 35 to 55. And if you've never fasted, I would say, do a bit of a internal reset and lay some foundation before you jump into fasting. Because despite the amazing benefits you can have from fasting, it's still a stressor on the body. And so if you're, women, in my age range, a lot of them are at the peak of their careers. So there's, a lot of pressure in their jobs, and they have families, and they're dealing with hormonal changes with perimenopause and menopause. Like, this is a volatile mix. That's a lot to just say, like, now I want to slap on some fasting and start skipping meals. This is not what I recommend. So first, I would say, get your sleep in check. Get your stress management in check, at least having tools to deal with them when it comes up. Then I would say, before even fasting, just try cutting out the junk food. And I'm not even saying forever, because I still eat the things that I love. But when we're just getting started, I would say, let's just try for a couple of weeks cutting out the junk food. No cutting calories, no fasting. We're not trying to reduce calories right now. Eat until you're satisfied, but just whole foods. Like, let's get used to that. And at the same time as we're kind of working on our sleep and having some stress management tools, maybe breathing or visualization or journaling, whatever that looks like, we're also starting the self-awareness of the mindset of just, oh, so what are your most common, what's most commonly being played in your mind that may be holding you back? Start writing it down. Start looking at who is the woman you want to be, you're striving to be. What are her habits? What does she like to do? Start writing that down. So we're just laying the foundation. And once you know where you're going, which is the Nicki I want to be in the future, and what are the actions and behaviors that someone like that has to do to reach that goal, and your sleep is better and you're eating healthier, Leah, some of them don't even need or want the fasting after because they already started seeing the results. But if they do want to continue with fasting, then now they're ready. They're mentally and physically stronger. And from there, I would say, start slow. Start with, like, maybe you're only fasting 12 hours and you're eating healthily and nutrient dense the rest of the time. But it's definitely not a game of fasting chicken. Like, how many calories can I cut and how long can I keep pushing the fasting window? Some people really think that that's what it's about. Like, somehow they're going to win at fasting if they can push the window longer and eat less. And it's not about that at all. So I would say lay the foundation, get your foundational healthy habits right, which is sleep and stress management. Just start eating whole foods, start being aware of your mental thoughts, and then you'll start fasting slowly. So even in my group fasting sessions, the first week we're not fasting. So that should tell you.
Well, and you brought up a great point too about, well, you've brought up many great points. One of them being, start with the 12 hours. And in my opinion, that should be like kind of everyone should be doing it every day fast. And a lot of people don't realize, like, oh yeah, that I do that. And then they start to be aware. Maybe they write it down, as you said, like some journaling maybe or some observation. They realize, oh, but I'm having that, glass of wine or that, dessert later, and I'm really not shutting down the kitchen till like, 9:30, and then I'm waking up and I'm having breakfast at 7 or 6:30. That's not a 12-hour fast. And we were
Exactly.
meant as humans, we were created to be able to fast for a minimum of 12 hours. I mean, if you think about hunter-gatherer societies thousands of years ago, there's no way they were having, late night snacking at 9:30 and then waking up to breakfast at 7 in the morning. That's not how our bodies worked. So I love that
Exactly.
I just like to point that out because, breakfast, break, fast. We should be fasting overnight. We are, no matter what you're doing, but I love that you brought up the 12-hour window as a starting point. Um, Nicki, I want to switch radically right now. And
Okay.
I know I like to ask people what is a very interesting and unique fact that perhaps most other people don't know about you?
Well, an interesting and unique fact that most people don't know about me is that I once lived in Thailand for a year. 6 months of that year, I was living in a Muay Thai camp, Muay Thai, the martial art, where we trained for 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the evening. Sorry, 4 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, all for it to culminate into a fight, which I have a undefeated record of one fight that I won, never fought again, but it was something I realized and it was a dream for me and one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Oh my God, congratulations. That sounds incredible, to be honest. And also, I never want to be on your bad side. So
I'm a
that's,
lover, not a fighter at heart. That's why I stopped.
yeah. Well, Nikki, our time together has been so great. I loved that you shared so much about mindset, mind shift, how to achieve your goals. And my favorite part was just incredibly, you had an incredible way of explaining the vision of the future you. and how you get to be that person to achieve your health goals. That was incredible. So I know people are going to want to look for how do they connect with you. I know you have a gift for them today. Tell us what the gift is and where to find you.
Yay! So my gift is my 2-week mindset reset guide. It gives actionable steps for how to do this mindset reset and how to start monitoring your thoughts and slowly shifting them without judgment, because we don't do no toxic positivity here. This is real rewiring from the inside out so you can become that person that can actually reach the goals that you're after by living the lifestyle and not just chasing an external goal. So I know Leah will be sharing that with everyone. I hope you like it. And if you have any questions about any of the ideas or concepts in that guide, or if you just have more questions about fasting, you can reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, Fasting with Nicki. Super simple. Nicki. I'm an
I was
I,
just
not
gonna
a Y.
say Nicki, fasting with
Correct.
Nicki. Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
I
I
love
love
it.
talking about this. I'm so passionate about it. I want to see all like women living their best lives. And I know that it's difficult. And I know sometimes it can feel like it's impossible, but it's really not. I have lived it myself. My clients have lived it. And I just want to share it. And this is like no pressure. Ask me a question, send me a message. I will answer it with pleasure and with love.
Yeah, I would highly suggest to go check out Nicki on social, grab her free gift. It's amazing. It's beautiful also. And I would just like to say this is not easy work. The work that we do inside to help us achieve, maybe the goal is that you want to feel better in your clothes. I mean, that's a superficial goal in a way, but there's something deeper there, losing, like Nicki said, losing those 10 pounds. That is a goal, but what is underneath that? What is deeper and who is the future you? That was incredible. And it's not easy work. It's completely doable and achievable. Not always easy. And that's why having a guide, a coach, some sort of help and support is extremely helpful. Especially we just said this many times, midlife and beyond, it's not easy already. So help yourself, give yourself a gift of having a guide, whether it's Nicki, me, or someone else. Just advocate for yourself and empower yourself because feeling like crap is not normal and you deserve better.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
love that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicki. This was an incredible, incredible conversation.
Thank you.
Hey, lovely listeners. Before we go, remember, this is just the beginning of our journey together. If you're excited to explore more about hormones, weight loss, and stepping into your power, check out leahvachani.com to see how you can join me in thriving through menopause. And don't forget to stay connected with me on Instagram at Leah Vachani for daily doses of laughs, inspiration, and insights. Until next time, stay fierce and fabulous and keep owning your journey wherever you are in the world.